Spiders are perfectly adapted hunters at the millimeter scale. But imagine for a moment what would happen if the order Araneae scaled up to the size of a medium dog, weighing roughly 30 kilograms. To understand how terrifying that creature would be, we have to look at how spiders move. Unlike mammals, spiders lack extensor muscles in several major leg joints. To push those legs outward, they rely on hydraulics, pressurizing a fluid called hemolymph, the arachnid equivalent of blood, and forcing it into the joints. At a microscopic level, this hydraulic extension is highly efficient. If you scaled that biological machinery up to the mass of a large dog, the internal pressures generated could theoretically produce sudden, explosive leaps. The combined torque of 30 kilograms and hydraulic speed creates a hunter capable of launching its body with a suddenness making human reaction times irrelevant. And then there is the problem of their webs. This chart compares the tensile strength and toughness of various materials, and it shows that biological spider silk easily dwarfs high-grade steel and Kevlar. A single dragline silk thread scaled to a width of just 1 centimeter could support 13 tons, the weight of a London double-decker bus. To function properly, an orb web has to instantly absorb the kinetic energy of its target. A network of 1 centimeter thick silk would stretch and deform, completely dissipating the impact of a sprinting deer without a single thread snapping. A species capable of weaving unbreakable barriers would effectively lock down urban landscapes, turning human environments into a series of impassable, lethal traps. You can imagine the societal response: humans retreating indoors, reinforcing buildings, and living in paranoia of a predator that can cross a street in a single bound. But we don't have to worry. A dog-sized spider is a scientific impossibility, stopped by an invisible geometric rule first described by Galileo. It's called the square-cube law. As an organism scales up, its volume and weight increase by the cube of its multiplier. Meanwhile, the cross-sectional surface area supporting that mass only increases by the square. Weight multiplies far faster than structural strength. Because of this geometry, a dog-sized spider cannot simply be a magnified version of a smaller species. Its biological architecture would buckle under its mass. The pressure required to extend limbs against a 20-kilogram load would rapidly exceed the yield strength of the prosoma. Instead of movement, the internal force would cause the chitinous exoskeleton to catastrophically rupture. Then there is the problem of breathing. Spiders do not actively pump air into their bodies like mammals do. They rely on book lungs, stacks of tissue that depend entirely on the passive diffusion of air from the atmosphere into their hemolymph. In our modern atmosphere with 21% oxygen, that passive system hits a hard limit. The volume of a dog-sized spider's tissue is so immense that oxygen molecules would fail to penetrate deep enough to reach its core organs, leading to rapid suffocation. Even if it could breathe and move, the creature would face a final, lethal bottleneck every time it needed to grow: the molting process. To grow, an arthropod must shed its rigid exoskeleton. During this transition, it is supported only by a soft hydrostatic skeleton, internal fluid pushing against tissue. Terrestrial arthropods, like the coconut crab, already push the absolute limits of this fragile phase. Without the buoyancy of a watery environment to support it, a 30-kilogram spider shedding its shell would experience the pancake effect. Gravity would flatten its soft internal tissues, guaranteeing a fatal collapse. Explosive internal pressures, constant suffocation, and gravity ensure this monster can never exist. In reality, our terrifying giant wouldn't be a threat at all. It would be a pathetic, suffocating creature, unable to coordinate its heavy, unresponsive limbs. Thrown into direct evolutionary competition, this slow and fragile arthropod would be immediately outclassed and eaten by true mammalian predators, whose internal bone skeletons and pressurized circulatory systems are actually built for scale. The features that make spiders so successful, their open circulatory systems, passive book lungs, and hydraulic joints, are highly specialized systems. They are engineering marvels, but they only function efficiently at the microscale. We don't need heavy weapons or concrete bunkers to protect ourselves from giant arachnids. The unforgiving laws of physics and biomechanics do that for us, securely confining these predators to the physical dimensions they already possess. Spiders do not need to be the size of dogs to be effective. Operating strictly within the boundaries of geometry, they are the undisputed masters of the millimeter world, perfectly designed for the hidden corners they all